We are living in the most distracted era in human history, and your brain is paying the price. You see, people can't focus anymore, especially people from my generation. Our attention span is low and our brain is fried. And even you're probably thinking of clicking off this video right now. But listen, put this video on full screen and keep watching. I'm about to cook. The good news is, even though we are fried and our attention span is low, focus is not something that you're born with or not. It's trainable, and science actually proves that. This is why in this video I want to help this generation and help this world and break down the science behind how to get better at focusing and improve your attention span. I will break down the top research on how to focus on what actually matters and sharpen your mind. So whether you're chasing a big goal or working on a big project or just trying to make it throughout your day without feeling that your brain is tired, this video is for you. Let's get started. First things first. What even is focus? Experts define focus as the art of concentrating your interest or activity on something. It sounds simple, right? But there's a crucial hidden detail inside that definition, and most people miss it. In order to concentrate on one thing, you must by default ignore all of the other things. Let me say that again because this is very important. Focus can only occur when we say yes to one option and no to all other options. Elimination is not just helpful for focus, it's the foundation. It's essential. Have you heard of Steve Jobs? Yeah. Well, that guy understood this better than everyone else. He famously said that focus means saying no to 1,000 good ideas so you can concentrate on the truly great ones. Now, this does not mean say no forever, alright? So if somebody asks you to do them a favor, don't just say no because this guy told you so. No, but in this moment, right now, focus demands one thing and one thing only. And here's why that matters. Focus is the key to productivity because saying no to every other option unlocks your ability to actually accomplish the things that is left. So now, for the $1 million question, what can we do to focus on that one thing that actually matters and eliminate the rest? Let me break it down. Most people don't have trouble with focusing. They have trouble with deciding. Let me explain. Your brain, assuming you're a healthy individual, it's perfectly capable of focusing. The problem is not in your brain. The problem is that you have not made a clear decision about what deserves your focus. You have to understand what you need to work on. What does truly deserve your focus? Think about it. Have you ever had a task that you absolutely had to get done? A deadline that was non-negotiable. What happened? You got it done, right? Not because you suddenly became more disciplined or smarter, but because the deadline made you do that. It forced you to take action and actually lock in. Instead of doing the actual difficult work of choosing something to focus on, we convince ourselves that multitasking is the solution. We spread our energy everywhere. We tell ourselves we can handle it all at once. But here's the problem. That's just ineffective. Here's why. Okay, let's talk about multitasking. Something that I thought I was great at. When it comes to multitasking, we've all been sold a lie. Yeah, I mean, technically, you can do two things at once. Right now, you can have the TV on and watch this video. You are doing two things at once, right? Wrong. You are constantly switching focus between this and that. And again, from this to that. Look, this would be great if your brain had the ability to switch between tasks like that. But it can't do that. Think about it. Have you ever been locked into something? You are solving a math equation and somebody taps you on the shoulder and asks you a question. 5 minutes later, when that conversation is over, it takes you a couple of minutes to get back to what you were doing. And that's the cost of multitasking. You keep switching focus between this and that, and every time you go back to something, it takes you a long time to actually lock in. So when you think you are being productive by doing 5 things at once, you're actually not being productive at all. You're just making everything take longer. So we have talked about why focus is hard and why multitasking doesn't work. Now, let's get into the good stuff. How do you actually stay focused? But before we can talk about staying focused, let's talk about something more important. How do you know what is that one thing that you should focus on? What 100 different things screaming for your attention? How do you figure out what your energy deserves to be spent on? Here's how to choose. Take 5 minutes right now and write everything down. Write all of your goals, all of the things that you have to get done. Get it all on paper. Now look at that list that you've made and ask yourself, if I can do one of these things this week that will actually move the needle, what would it be? Don't choose the easiest one or the hardest one. Choose the thing that will actually make the biggest impact on the things that you want to accomplish. Now circle that one thing. Once you've done that, there you go. That is that one thing that you should spend your energy on. Now that you've made that decision, how can you actually stay locked in on that goal? Well, there's 2 strategies that you can use. The first one, measure your results. Now, I know it sounds boring, alright? But stick with me. This is huge. Focus is something that disappears when you're not seeing feedback, when you're not seeing results. Your brain needs to know if it's doing the right thing or if you're just doing something that is not leading anywhere. And that makes sense, right? That's why you have to start measuring the things that you want to accomplish. And it's actually more simple than you think. If you want to focus on reading, measure how many pages that you read a day. If you want to focus on getting in better shape, measure how many push-ups you take per workout session. If you're doing your homework and can't focus, measure for how long time you can stay focused without getting distracted. Most people don't measure because, to be honest, we are scared of numbers. We are scared of what the numbers will tell us about ourselves. But listen, measuring is not a judgment of who you are. It's just feedback. And if you're not happy, you can always improve. The second strategy that you can use to stay locked in and focused is to focus on the process, not the event. The second you shift your attention from outcome to process, everything changes. So if your goal is to lose 20 pounds, focus on the process of getting in shape. If you want to get smarter, if you want to get A on the exam, focus on the process of showing up every single day and studying. This is actually genius because focusing on the process is what's going to get you the results anyway. It's just a mindset shift that will make you stick to your goals and stay locked in. Alright, so now we've covered the big picture. How to choose what matters, how to measure progress, and how to fall in love with the process. But let's be real. Even when you know what you need to focus on, the day-to-day execution can get a little bit messy. So let's talk about some practical mind hacks that will protect your attention and keep you focused while working. Number 1, manage your energy, not your time. So pay attention to when you have energy. When are you the sharpest? When does your brain feel alive? For most people, including myself, that's in the morning. That's when you are fresh, creative, and ready to take on the day. So schedule your most important tasks, goals, and things that you have to work on in that period. Save the easier, less demanding stuff for later. Tip number 2, leave your phone in another room. I've already mentioned this in many of my videos, but your phone can be a huge form of distractions, especially because when most people are scrolling, they don't even realize that they are scrolling and wasting time. It's just something people do out of a habit. So if you put your phone in another room entirely and work in intervals where you take a break every couple hours and then check your phone, it becomes way faster to finish the goal that you have and you stay locked in for a longer period of time. It improves your focus if you do this every single day. It improves your attention span. So what's not to like? Number 3, remove morning distractions. I've already mentioned that mornings are very, very important for a lot of people. That's where they have the most energy. So clean your schedule in the morning. Try to avoid grabbing your phone as the first thing when you wake up. If it's too distracting to make breakfast, try intermittent fasting. In the mornings, you just need to start working as soon as possible. So that's it for today's video. Focus is not something you're born with or not. It's trainable, and it's about saying no and choosing what actually matters. Like, subscribe. See you in the next video.